Hi, boys and girls, it's me. And it's good to be back in the lair. It's been a few weeks, I understand, and I don't know if you actually missed me or not, but I'll tell you what, it's been crazy busy here. I could sit here and talk to you for the next 10 minutes and explain all the things that have been going on, but these are kind of like life situations, and with COVID on top of everything else, it throws a monkey wrench in everything. But me and Mrs. RW are fine. And one of the things that I've had to devote some time to is I've acquired a number of different tube acquisitions, so to speak. So I found a couple things I found kind of interesting, and I want to take the time and share that with you right now. Okay, boys and girls, first off, I have here a old tube. The interesting thing about this is that if you look on the base, the phenolic base, and you see the letters WLS, and then directly below that the numbers 4631. It's an interesting tube. It's a 5-pin tube, and then you see on the top of the tube it's also tipped as well. Now here's what this is all about. WLS is an actual radio station in Chicago that's still operating to this day at 890 kilocycles. It's a very early station. It's not as early as KDKA. They are celebrating their 100th anniversary this year in 2020. But also that I think they started in if my memory serves me correctly, 1924 is when WLS got started, and they're in Chicago. Now, ironically, there's a few things that's kind of strange about this tube and this company. The station, the radio station itself, was not from the inception of the station when it first got started, but later on, a few years after it got started, it was bought and owned by the Sears Roebuck Company. And they like to cater to the farmers out in the Midwest. And if you ever heard, and you'd probably have to talk to your parents or maybe your grandparents or a great uncle or great aunt, and they used to have a radio show called A Farm Report. And that was WLS's bread and butter because Sears Roebuck sold a lot of stuff to farmers. And WLS actually has a meaning. It actually stands for World's Largest Store. And back in 1924, up until, God, I don't know how long, but for many years it was just that. It was the world's largest store. And they, amongst other things, they sold complete houses. And as you could probably guess, they sold radios and radio tubes. Now, this particular tube, I started looking at it very carefully. And as I kind of turned it around, I looked at it. I looked at the construction of the tube. I said, geez, that kind of looks a little bit like a 27. And I did a little research on the web, and then I come to find out that that's exactly what this tube is. It's basically a 27 tube, which most of you will know that was kind of used as like a detector back in the day. So the 4631, I don't know what significance that has, but anyway, that was just kind of, I found that in a box tube. And by the way, I did test this tube, and it's got an open filament, so it's a dud. But I kept it off to the side. I wanted to share that to everybody. I'm sure that most of you have never seen one before, and neither did I. So that's the first tube. Let me show you some other tubes I have. Okay, next I have here in front of you two DeForest brand Audion tubes. Okay, on the left is a 427. No, it's not a big block. And on the right is an Audion 471B. So basically, this tube here on the left, this is a 27. Similar to the WLS tube that I just showed you. And this is a 71B, and that was used as an output tube, all right, for the audio. And I put these in my tester, and these basically all tested good. Now, that being said, let me tell you a little bit about these tubes. Now, if you're not akin to radio history, Lee DeForest was a rather interesting guy. He claimed that actually he did invent the vacuum tube. The only thing is that Lee DeForest, when coerced and tried to get the people to explain, to reporters or to investors, because he did have several companies, and he was kind of a shyster guy later on in life. He was trying to take advantage of the radio craze, and he had some limited success with a few of his companies. But although he did invent the tube, he could not explain how the tube worked, which is kind of odd. And, so it goes with sometimes you get some of the greatest inventors kind of get things together by accident. So these aren't really early Audion tubes. I would say these may be from the late 20s, early 30s, from probably one of his later businesses. And these are tubes that they're more common than the WLS tube, but these are more tubes that you don't see very, very often. And ironically, both of these are good too. So I just wanted to take a moment and share that with you as well. I do have one more item that I'd like to show off, and it's really not a tube here. Let me see if I can get a good picture of this. This is a card, and as you can see, it has the RCA logo with Nipper there sitting in front of the phonograph in his master's voice. Let me see if I can get a little closer here so it's a little bit more legible. And I was trying to figure this out, and I was showing it to Mrs. RW, and I think that at one time these cards were handed to new employees of RCA. And let me read what it says in the lettering. Each of us has a contribution to make to the task ahead, to advance our company to leadership in the radio, television, sound, and electronic fields. On the reverse of the card has this thing that says channels of contact. So, these are just kind of like little rules, I guess, of the company. Maybe I can get this just a little bit closer here so you can see it. There we go. So I would imagine that these cards, I actually found this in a box of tubes, and I would imagine that these were handed to new employees back in the day. So I thought that was kind of a neat find as well. So sometimes when you go through tube boxes, you just never know what you're going to find. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you liked that. I thought that was kind of interesting myself, and I just wanted to share that with you. So again, thanks for stopping by and tuning in. Please hit the like button. Tell your friends if you like what you see, and feel free to comment. And 2020 is coming to an end. Christmas is a few weeks away, so remember to take care of your family, but also take care of remember and take care of the people that are a little less fortunate than you. And I think that's an important thing too. So again, thanks, and take care. Bye.
Sunday night at 8 on Channel 9's The Big Preview, followed by the New York television premiere of A Man Escaped, your Sunday night double feature on Channel 9. This is WOR AM and FM, your RKO General Station in New York. Stay tuned now for the Long John Nebel Show. Time at the tone, 12 o'clock.